This is the Beyond the Sidelines podcast. I'm your host, Giancarlo Nadeau. Bonjour, hello. Thank you for tuning in to today's show. My name is Giancarlo Nadeau. I'm the host of the Beyond the Sidelines podcast, and I'm beyond excited to be bringing on Wesley Sutton, a defensive back for the Montreal Alouettes of the Canadian Football League. And don't worry, we're going to keep this interview in English, so you don't have to worry about not being able to speak or understand French. But Wes is a guy, he's been with the Alouettes for the last 3 seasons. First made his CFL debut in 2021. Montreal is the only place he's ever known for teams in the CFL. And this episode's going to be all about injuries. So let's jump right in. Let's find out what a medical team looks like in the CFL.
So we have a head trainer and usually like 3 or 4, I guess you call it interns or employees that work with the head trainer. So it's actually not very many for as many guys as we have that need to be treated. You know, we have about like 70-something, 35 guys on the roster, including practice squad and active roster and all that.
The Al's medical team may not be as big as players would like, but Wes was quick to give them recognition and some attention that they truly deserve for all their hard work.
They do a great job at sending us to the stuff that we need, getting us back out on the field as soon as possible.
What can often be forgotten in sports is ensuring that players are fully healthy, fully recovered before getting back on the playing surface after suffering an injury. Teams always want to win, and sometimes they risk their players' health and safety to try and do that.
Yes, it's about as soon as possible, but it's also about recovering first and making sure that they're 100% healthy and then getting them back out on the field. And they do a great job at that. They help us out a lot.
Players are encouraged and supported to speak with the team's medical staff whenever they wish. These trainers are at the team's practices, and they're on the sidelines during games. But it's also important for players who are injured and players who aren't able to participate on the field with their teammates to maintain a positive mindset and try and do whatever they can to get back on the field.
It's just important in general because you never know when it's going to be your last play, and even being a healthy player, you always got to keep that positive mindset and just knowing that, hey, I got to take advantage of the present moment. And, if I do happen to get injured, it's still the same mindset, staying present and being positive in the moment. So, whatever is at hand, whatever task is at hand, you got to just attack it with the right mindset and attack this recovery, whatever it is we need to help me to get back out on the field. You got to keep, as they say, be where your feet are. So if your feet are, getting to rehab and attacking rehab as hard and as best as you can, that's what you got to do. And keep a positive mindset. When other teammates look at you and they see you smiling and stuff, it energizes them.
Being on the sidelines is hard. It's not fun, and it's not easy. Players want to play. When they sit on the sidelines for too long, they're not happy, and it's much harder to maintain a positive mindset. But those who take their injuries to their fullest advantages are often the ones that learn new skills, come back on the field stronger, and usually learn something about themselves.
Guys always say, they find something new about themselves that they didn't know. Whether it be they learn how to be more patient or they learn how to be, more mature throughout the process. It's always injuries, there's always something that you can take from the negative and turn it to a positive. So that's kind of how I've seen it and that I've experienced, injuries actually helping guys when you do keep a positive mindset, like you said.
Players are usually given timelines as to when their team expects them to be back on the field. And in the Canadian Football League, there's a 1-game injured list and a 6-game injured list. Players get put on these designated lists depending on the severity of their injury. The first option is the 1-game injured list.
It's basically like your week to week. The injury is not severe. It's something that can be healed within a week, or it may take 2 weeks, may take 3 weeks, but it's kind of unknown. So they put you on the one game, meaning, okay, you're going to miss this game, but, you'll still be eligible for the following week. If your recovery goes well, then you're able to get to 100% before the following game after you miss this one game.
The second option is the 6-game injured list.
The injury is more severe. It's looking like, more of a couple weeks that you're going to be out, maybe a month, maybe even longer. But just the longest time that you can be on an injured list is the 6 game. So they'll put you on the 6 game. And, you can't practice. You can't be out on the field with your jersey on.
Wesley has had many injuries throughout his CFL career. He's had severe injuries and he's had minor injuries. The minor injuries he suffered during games, but he's been able to play through them, while the severe injuries have kept him on the sidelines and away from the playing field. Regardless of the type of injury that he gets and the players in the CFL get, they all need to be assessed and evaluated.
Trainer will do their protocol based on the injury. Like I said, after they assess you and you begin the recovery process.
Once evaluations and the injury process get well underway, it eventually becomes time for a big decision.
They'll put you through some drills, some strengthening exercises, some mobility exercises, depending on the injury, on the body part of the injury. They'll do some simulations to see if your strength is back, if your flexibility is back, if the injury is fully healed, and then once the athletic trainer gives you that yes, then it's upon the athlete, because they know their body the best. For the athlete to say, hey, okay, I'm back to 100%, I feel good, I feel like I can do my job at a high level, or do my job the same way that I did it before I got injured.
Even if a player passes protocols and evaluations, the ultimate decision comes down to the players. Injuries have been a big topic this season for the Montreal Alouettes. It's been a huge theme as many key players on the organization have faced injuries, keeping them on the sidelines for games throughout the year.
I don't know, for sure, factual-wise, how many injuries we've had, but we've had a lot. Everybody on the roster basically will have played at least one game this year, which is crazy.
When you have as many injuries like the Alouettes have had this year, it's tough for the players, it's tough for the coaching staff, it's tough for everybody.
New players that are out on the field week to week, and there's not really any of the same guys playing to build that trust. But then on the flip side, everybody's getting experience.
The players can't get into a rhythm as they're playing with so many different players, and the coaching staff aren't quite sure who to play in certain positions, as they're not the regular guys, they're not the key guys that usually get those reps in on that football field. But with that being said, the Alouettes have been able to survive the injury troubles that they faced so far this year.
It's been going well. It's been up and down. We've had some streaks of winning and we have a couple streaks of losing. It's been a season where a lot of guys are getting a lot of newer guys, a lot of rookies are getting a lot of playing time. Because our roster changed a lot throughout the offseason. But, a lot of guys are getting playing time, which is good, which means they're getting just the ability to learn and grow and get out on the field and actually do it in a game-like setting. So they're getting a lot of great experience through that. But, we're sitting, still in the playoff race. But, we got to take it one game at a time.
The Alouettes are very much in the playoff hunt. They've clinched a playoff game. Only a few more games are left in their regular season. This year's Grey Cup, Sunday, November 19th in Hamilton at Tim Hortons Field. Montreal's hoping they can be the team representing the East. They've been a fun team to watch this year, mostly because the injuries to some of their key players have allowed fans to meet new guys. Wesley Sutton, he's a baller. It's always fun speaking with him. I want to thank you for joining me. That's the Beyond the Sidelines podcast on the Evolution Podcast Network.